Hey guys, Dylan from Noble Records coming at you with another video. This week we're back at it again with the interviews. We went to California a couple weeks ago and I interviewed a bunch of great record collectors. Last week we interviewed E Independence, which is an incredible interview. If you haven't seen that one, I'd recommend going back. This week we're doing Ian McQuillan, longtime friend of mine. I've known him for a really long time. He's a good guy. His kind of focal point of his collection is the Elvis stuff. He has anything Elvis you could ever imagine in top condition. So he talks about some of the Elvis rarities in this video. He also collects rare jazz, rare 90s stuff, grunge, all that. I think you guys are really gonna love seeing this video, and it's really cool how he's known as such this huge Elvis collector, but also his collection goes way beyond that into like Black Sabbath and Alice in Chains and all kinds of stuff. So in this video there's something for everybody. Even if you're not a huge Elvis fan, he talks about the differences between like valuable pressings and all that stuff, and then he goes on and shows some absolutely crazy jazz, blues, grunge grails that you guys are definitely gonna want to see. So without further ado, Ian McQuillan. Aliso Vallejo. Man, this is a beautiful area. Tons of really cool houses, palm trees, houses on hills, and all this really very nice California area. Can't wait to see this next collection. Get to Ian's garage and he's got all of his boxes of stuff that he sells at the record shows. So I'm gonna try to dig in here before I interview.
That's all my personal collection of Elvis, different stuff. But this is mainly Elvis here. There's a couple of thousand 45s right here. They're all Elvis.
So these are all Elvis 45s?
Yeah. And so everything here, and so this is all, you know, a whole mint set of Elvis 45s. This is my personal collection, you know, from the very first one, all in mint shape. You're on my my Instagram. I've done each box, you know, doing the 50s, and yeah, just a mint set of the whole lot. So then I've got the Suns right here. Yeah, so yeah, just all the 45 Suns. Did you get that?
Mm-hmm.
No, not that. Actually, that's rare too. Yeah. So if you bought the Victrola radiogram from RCA, the lesser one, the cheaper one, you got this SPD 22, which is like 2/3 of the album, of the first album. If you bought the do you know what that is? Do you know what these are? So if you bought the SPD 23 Victrola radiogram, they had the whole album on 3 EPs in this.
Wow.
So these go for about $2,000 to $3,000 in good shape.
Wow.
They're all kind of first of the first album. So quite a few. Look at the difference in the colours there.
Yeah.
You see that? Isn't that weird? But they're not first pressing, second pressing, or anything like that. It's just the way they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different plants and all that, I guess.
Yeah, just different plants. They're not first pressing. Yeah, like some have said. Oh. So these are all. So those are just from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Those are show badges. That is to a member.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look at this one. There's one King Creole. Look at this. Yeah, King Creole. That's from 58.
Wow. Did it take you a long time to come across
56.
these, or did you buy them in a collection?
No, well, I know what they are, so I've been trying to get them, and I've sold a lot over time. And these are all from 56. These ones are all from, yeah. So look at that. Don't blame me, I voted for Elvis. And that's a pretty good collection, but there's a couple I'm missing.
Yeah.
Because this is a full set of every pen. Can you get that in the right? All from 1956.
Wow.
That's the full set. Shoebox and everything. My name is Ian McQuillan. I'm a collector of vinyl records. I've been in the Southern California basin, Orange County, for almost 40 years. I'm originally from New Zealand. I've been collecting records for 56 of my 60 years.
And you specialize in...
Yeah, if you were going to know that one, Elvis Presley would be my specialty.
So that's what you're known for.
Amongst Elvis people, yeah, it's a big part. There's Elvis is 40 and 60% is everything else. Born in 65, and just collecting music was. I'm from a music family. My parents, we'd get all the records, Beatles, all that sort of stuff, and I was into records at 2 years old. We used to go to people's houses, parties, and I just want to go see their records, and my dad would be going, "Oh, watch this," and I'd be just bolting to the records, going, they'd be going, "Oh, go, don't touch this," and they go, "Just watch this," and I'd take the records out by the sides and look at them, they're going, "What is this?" So when I was working, I was working before I was 15, helping out working commercial cleaning buildings, 12, 13, 14. I'd go to all the record stores in Auckland City, down to in the city itself, and all the owners knew who I was at 12, 13, 14, and they all knew I wanted every Elvis. Nobody got any Elvis unless it came through me. I saw it first. So, yeah, good times.
What about Elvis? I mean, I get it. First of all, I get at that time period.
Well, it's a very simple question. My mother was Elvis mad.
Okay.
I'm the firstborn. She's still a teenager. And I just knitted to it. The other ones after me, no. Just Mum and I. If you know, you know. Is it listening to me or... Sorry.
That, wow.
Don't have to say anything else. Only Elvis people will care about that. And that's a leather. Not a promo, that's just how the labels were. That's a first leather copy. That's the Christmas album with the original gold tag, which is nobody's got those.
Wow.
Well, pretty much. And then, perfect spine and everything else, and just perfect name and record. Did that one already, did that.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows what this is? Black Unity Trio. So these have sold for crazy amounts. And there's the record.
Do you like the music?
It is actually, it's not bad. They consider it, they're like a Cleveland, this is a Cleveland like independent label, and they consider this like the first of the fusion jazz albums, 1969. It's good if you can try and listen to it. They've actually reissued it recently.
Yeah.
So no other kid wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Records were just like an anomaly, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to go to every antique store and op shop in New Zealand back in the 70s. Whenever we drove anywhere, stop here, and God love my parents. I've certainly had my issues with my parents. They would stop, and we'd go look, and you wouldn't believe how many times I go in and there's an Elvis record, and we just buy it.
For my recollection, the first time we met.
Guy walked in the store. That was funny.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Guy happened to walk in the store. I didn't know who you were.
No, of course you didn't.
I had no idea who you were. You just came in. I think you might have been like, "You have some Elvis stuff." I'm like, I don't know. Probably some back there in the Presley section, and not knowing who I was talking to. But this guy walks in just serendipitously and said, "I got this Elvis record now." and this thing is worth a lot of money. And you know, he pulls it out. I was like,
oh my God.
It might be worth something, but it looked like it was drugged behind a car.
Exactly.
It was terrible. And I said, man, it's probably worth something. Do you remember what it was? It was one of the 45 you would remember. What
There was 2 of them.
Okay.
You had 2 of them.
And they were both bad.
And you were nice enough to say, I got a guy here.
I said, hey, you're the Elvis guy. And I said,
and so this guy didn't even know if they were real or not. So I told him they were real, and he says, these are worth, oh, that's good. And his wife goes, oh, that's good, honey. Remember, he's with his wife and stuff? And I said, in this condition, these are not worth anything. And then you were so nice. I walked away and went back and was looking through the jazz and all that, and you just said, Ian, if I'm not interested, but if you want to make a private deal with them, I thought, this guy is, what a nice guy on his rented property. He said, if you want to make a deal with this guy, go ahead. And I didn't. And no, because they were 1 out of 10. There's poor, there's fair, and then there's poor, and these were poor. And there's a lot of them around. You just have to pay for the decent ones. It's not like Sun Records aren't readily available of Elvis. It's just that there's more than just Elvis looking for them. There's the rockabilly guys. There's the guys that think that this is the evolution of rock and roll. They want them in their collection, so it goes outside the realm of just Elvis fans. So.
Beyond Elvis, what other things do you like to collect?
These all go for a couple $100 each now, don't they? That's a Fashion Nugget on the textured cover and stuff, and Bush. Yeah. Guns N' Roses I pulled out. Oh, that you need to get yourself a European copy, and they're not, you know. All these Guns N' Roses, these go for good money. All these, it's amazing.
I think
isn't
so.
it?
I've kind of lost count of some of that stuff. I haven't had any in a while, but I've got all the Guns N' Roses too. Jars of Clay, gotcha.
I see it.
Busted.
What's wrong?
No, it's just one of those records, man. Everybody seems to have one. Everyone's like, well, I don't know why I have this. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's a first.
Wow. Didn't peg you for a Linkin Park guy.
I love them. Are you kidding? I love when they came out. Never saw them. I wish I did.
I even thought about that record in a long time.
Yeah. Elvis. I've got quite a lot of the Metallica originals. Megadeth. It's funny that Megadeth will go right behind Metallica, eh? Oh, that's how my wife and I we met one night dancing to this in a nightclub, actually.
Wow.
And I got all the Nirvana, she saw all that.
Is that the blue?
Which one is that? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only Nirvana I don't have.
Yeah.
I don't have the white vinyl bleach. Do you have that?
I don't.
Super tough to get.
Yep. I've got a couple of bleachers, but they're, they're just the black copies. Still happy to have those. I mean, goodness. So I've got, there's a good one in it. Do you have one in your collection?
Oh, yeah.
Original?
Of course.
94?
Gotta.
Instead of 91. That's
there
worth,
you go.
Yeah, that's worth a ton of money these days.
But it's so good too. It's just
Yeah.
Great record.
Stereolab, so I like them a lot.
Yeah.
You do? You know them? Okay.
Oh yeah, of course.
Most Americans don't. They're huge in Europe. They're English, obviously.
Sampled a lot of library stuff.
Another great album, great signature album. Stone Temple Pilots. I finally got the whole lot. All 5 covers. Isn't that neat?
There you go.
Doesn't that look beautiful?
Wow. I've definitely had them all, but I've not at the same time.
I just had to have them. I just decided one day,
I always get rid of
screw
them.
this, I want it. Yeah. Japan, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. Paranoid. I think the first album's my favourite.
Yeah, me too.
And this is a beautiful album. It's underrated.
They're all good.
Yeah. I've got a couple of nice Australian with the, and they had a poster too, you know, and stuff. black. So they've got a black issue and a white issue. Both considered kind of first. How's that? So they weren't allowed to put the devils on the cover in Singapore. But it's, it's a true, Vertigo label. It's not a bootleg or anything like that. It's just a... You don't see that everywhere. From 2 years of age to about 13, there was nothing else. Then, then alternative, new wave, punk came along, and I started listening to other stuff. Then girls come along and you start listening to other stuff, and I like to go to dances, start listening to music. You start hearing bands like Talking Heads, The Cars, and I'm listening to these guys as they've just come out. This sort of stuff, and now I'm starting to be very discerning. It's like, I've never heard anything like this in my life, and I'm saying this is going to be a huge, and boom, 3 weeks later, Ian's correct. It's number one in New Zealand, and number one in the States as well, and we're starting to party and all our friends, and so I start branching off, but I've still got Elvis as a base, and all my friends know this, and none of them are into it, but they're all very cool with me about it. And you might want to bring up when he died, actually, and I would have been like the second year of middle school when that happened. So so then the other things just evolved, and I started collecting, and I was always very careful. All my records were like always in good shape. I always kept them in nice shape. I didn't let anyone else touch them. I was almost like the guy in Diner. I mean, that was me, but 10 years younger. So and this is signed.
Oh wow, that's great.
Oh God!
Oh,
look at that. And that's a first press.
Yeah.
Well, that isn't the one. God, that is an overrated album.
Oh, really? Come on.
Really? I think so.
I love it.
That's a better one.
I guess that's the one.
That's good. Not so good. Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I've just got his Riverside, which garner all the money, but those Verve ones, those are great.
You ever have Bill Evans Alone? That's one of my favorites.
Bill Evans Alone? What is that one?
It's just him by himself, unaccompanied. It's really good on piano. Now you collect, I've seen some jazz in there. Beyond Elvis, I see a bunch of like different pressings of Zeppelin.
I'll show you.
Beatles.
Absolutely. No. I've got all UK
that
presses, Plum pressings. I know Europe, and I've recently, with Parker, I got into Black Sabbath a few years ago and made sure I got all the UK, New Zealand releases. I got Nate looking for, so I got all that stuff. And you're a big Black, so as like Parker, and I just, Led Zeppelin I've always liked, but that's 90s. That's all original 90s stuff. And then this is the 80s, just through here, just stuff I want to keep. Cure, Depeche Mode, Joy Division, all that sort of stuff, and then all the classic stuff there. They're all genres. You saw a jazz, 4 big rows of jazz in there. There's the whole Impulse section right there.
Yeah.
Good, nice high-end stuff. And my latest rabbit hole is prog.
Right. I love it.
I know that is your domain. So now I've started to realise, just in those 2 years, psych prog. No, psych prog. Yeah. They are different.
It's outsider rock. Both are kind of out on the fringes. There's been popular examples of prog, like King Crimson.
Prog I'd take away from rock, but psych could be kind of rocky. The garage would go into that psych, and this is my type of interpretation. It's before, psych goes back to 66, 65 or whatever, and prog is a bit later, early 70, 69 to 75 is probably their heyday and stuff. But I mean, this is just me early, just still getting used to it. Some I don't like, some I love. It's same. Psych's a bit more. I can listen to a bit more of that, but I do love the prog.
Do you have you heard Yes to Urfa?
Mm-mm.
I brought you a gift. Since you were so gracious to grant me an interview, this is on our label, straight from the master tapes.
Okay. No, I don't have it, and I've not seen it. So
there you go. That's yours. We did that one straight from the master tapes.
You had them do it as well?
Yeah, QRP
well
pressed
done.
it. They did the mastering, the pressing, everything that happened over there. Stout and jackets, all that stuff. So I think you'll like that. That's you know, original pressings of that are
yeah.
2,500, 2 grand, or 3 grand, something like that. And I have a long history with the album, but we reissued it. So that one, I'm curious to see what you'll think about it. But I love PROG.
I'll let you know. Absolutely. What's this one here? Who's this? Oh my goodness. Distortions. Oh, Blue Phantom. It's the only one he did, but he's collaborating some other stuff.
Yeah.
They're all Poland. They were in like the Symphony Orchestra of Poland, but when they're off, then they start doing this stuff.
Okay.
When it's still under the Iron Curtain, we're talking 1975, 76, and I can listen to that stuff, you know. So.
Oh yeah, you got this.
I just got that. I haven't even really processed
just sitting
it.
over here on the floor. That's a great one.
So Nate got me onto that, and I played it once, and I went, "Wow, I'm going to listen to that again. I think I'll like that."
Yeah,
and that's an original, original Aussie
amazing.
pressing. You know this one.
Oh, Cover Shoot.
Yeah, Cover Shoot. Them I'd heard of, but I'd never seen this album. And then I saw you, and I went, "Oh, look at that! God, I got to get that cover." And then just to get the
original.
original.
Hold it up for the camera.
Oh,
there you go.
This. And this boy's displayed it a few times, and I've told him, hey, whatever you want to trade for that. But that's never been on the table with this fella.
The next one you got there's that Jerusalem record.
Yes.
That's a favorite of mine.
Yeah, and it's these go for some dollars. These very first Durham label ones from the UK, and nice piece.
That's really good. Like if you like Black Sabbath, Deep Purple, stuff like that. That was one of the early ones that kind of turned me on to that hard rock, early 70s hard rock stuff that wasn't, you know, Black Sabbath or Deep Purple, but deeper cuts. What are some of the other ones you got on that pile right there? He pulled out some bangers.
This one has really spiked. It always went for about 200 or 300. Green Day, first copy with Ernie on it. Can we show that on YouTube? Yeah, with Ernie, and I've just seen the last couple going for 800,000, 1,200
Really?
bucks.
That's nuts.
Yeah, just another Nirvana there. Just first pressing of that, and that again is spiked. This is up at got to be 800 or whatever these days.
It's that master disc version that's in the dead wax. Those are,
I think they all are. They not all like that, or?
No, I tell you, it's 2 different versions. They're both big money, but the master disc version is big money. Yep, that's it. And it's nice.
Oh, it's a near mint.
Yeah, they're
So that's the thing.
Over $1,000. I mean, there's 2 different versions. This is the very first U.S. and if it has master disc in the dead wax, that's kind of the one
that everyone's looking for, is it?
That people are looking for, yeah.
So that's the thing with me, Dylan, and many collectors don't do this, but I only collect Excellent Plus or better.
Yeah.
Which affords me, you know. Well, actually, there's a lot of stuff I don't get because I'm looking for that stuff. I mean, and it always comes up VG minus, which 80% of collectors, maybe even more than that, will get it.
Yeah.
But I won't.
Right.
I'm going to wait, and if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. If I can't play it and have it sound good, and the cover's got to accompany the record.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I'm that type A, but well, a few others will differ. They say I am, but...
I want to interrupt the video real quick and just say thank you guys for watching this interview series that I'm doing. I did one last week, and I have 8 more coming. So every Sunday for the rest of the year, we're doing these interviews. And a lot of people are loving it. They're giving me a lot of really good feedback. But the best thing that you can do to support what we're doing is to buy something on our website. In this video, we talk about a bunch of really cool records, a lot of obscure stuff, a lot of crazy like psych rock and stuff like that. We talked about Yezda Urfa, which that's on our website. We also talked about Kavash Jute, Wide Open, which is an Australian hard rock record that's absolutely phenomenal. We just did a release of that. So on our website, we have a ton of records that we either released on our label or did exclusive releases with other labels. And it's just rock albums that we think deserve more attention, that are obscure. Some of these records cost thousands of dollars, but we wanted to put them out at an affordable price, a good quality pressings. So if you want to support what we're doing and you want to like experiment with some new music maybe you've never heard of before, check out our website, Noblerecordstore.com. We have tons of albums that I think that you guys are going to love. Now back to the video.
So that's the very first album of Elvis. I want to try and make sure I don't get that clear. So it's still in its original baggie. This is a discography, an RCA discography, and that came with some of the albums. The PD credit on the back, look on Discogs what that means. That's just because is public domain, which it's not, and they had to change that. And it's a pristine copy. It's a 9 out of 10, maybe record might be 10 out of 10. And you see those coming, and people think, oh, I don't know, 30, 40 bucks. But when you get them in this shape, I can get 1,200 for that easy.
Oh yeah,
in that kind of shape.
Because
1S stamper. So one of the first that I remember my mum got, and I still play it now, and some of these records aren't, you can buy them for 10, 12 bucks, but this would be one that's been in our household for a million years.
Yeah.
So that's Orsi Beast's second album, 1972, and God, my neighborhood loved this. We used to play this, and it's Afro Funk, and this is when Orsi Bisa was still licensed in the UK and playing that Afro Funk. This was like #1 all over Europe, or top 5. Do you know this album? Of course you do.
Yeah.
Again, you can buy it for probably 10, 15 bucks. But to me, this is something I play whenever I used to DJ. I would warm up the speakers playing this. Everyone would go, what is that? And I'd explain it to them. And then they'd hear go, that's phenomenal. And then Oxygen 3 would come on and go, oh, I've heard that before. But the rest of the album is phenomenal. He's before his time. This is probably one of my better jazz albums. So that's the Andy Warhol first cover, Kenny Burrell. And, it's the blue note without the R and the regular, the original address on the cover and stuff. That's some beautiful shape. Yep, same with this one. First copy without the R on the blue note. Hard to find. People, you go through so many of them, and hard to get a nice black cover.
Yeah, they're trash when you do find them.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is. Super clean copy, right?
Oh yeah, that's near mint. I had to pay quite a bit for that. My collection is all in genres. It's all in genres.
Yeah.
So there's Elvis, then Beatles, because it's quite a lot, extensive, a lot of Beatles, and then jazz, 90s, 80s, classic rock, New Zealand. I've got a big New Zealand Australian type of all that kind of stuff in there. And it's easy for me to get to. Mobile Fidelity behind you, all those, that sort of stuff. And pretty simple.
What's the rarest record that you have?
Rarest? It's probably that one, because as you know that one, Andy told him to pull this.
You told me about this in Austin, and I can't remember much about it.
So Ultraviolet was a muse of Andy Warhol's. They were going out together. He said he produced this album for her and everything else. They split up. That's in the works. They're in production. He goes and says, "You pull that album. I don't care. We're already in on this, and we've already done this. I don't give a. It'll cost you this." He said, "I don't care. I don't want that thing to get out." So it didn't get out, and a few did get out.
Right.
And most of them are all promos. They have punch holes and everything like this. This has got to be one of the best ones out there. And
what is it like?
it sounds like Yoko Ono.
Oh.
So I played it and I went, I don't really want to keep this. So it's just her kind
It's for sale for the right price.
It's for sale for the right price. But some of these have sold in excess of $5,000.
Yeah.
Crazy money. Anything with Andy Warhol attached, as you know,
So do
it's
you,
certainly not her.
Will you keep something if it's not enjoyable to you? I mean, if it's got a good story.
It is a good story, but it has no musical appeal. So it's out.
Right.
I'm happy to let it go. For someone that wants it, somebody that's an Andy Warhol, I would, yeah.
What is your favorite record?
My favorite record?
Favorite one?
Honestly, man, as a purist, the one that's on the turntable. The one I'm listening to. Whether it's on the turntable or on the computer, whatever I've decided to listen to at that point, that's my favorite.
Well, what's the most you've ever spent on a record?
I'm pretty sure it's that record I just mentioned. So the guy in Austin, he's a guy I know, a great guy, they're out of Florida, Jeff and, what's his partner's name? So he had the That's Alright Mama, the 78, and he wanted $4,000 for it. So I got it for $3,000 off him. And he did that. He was holding firm on 35, and I went back to get some other stuff, and he said, "Hey, you can have this. Give me the $3,000. Have you got cash?" I said, "I'll get cash. You kidding? There's a Wells Fargo right outside here." And he went, "I want you to have it." Look at the labels on that. That's something.
Wow. Beautiful.
And then the other side, I'm in Kentucky. That's probably the nicest one you'll ever see.
Get a close look at the label. What album has been hardest for you to find that you've been looking for, and you've either maybe found it or not found it?
Because of what I said to you earlier about excellent plus or better, there is one record I'm looking for, and I've been looking. It's 10 years plus, and you know the record. It is Human Instinct, Stone Guitar.
That's a tough one to find clean.
You can find the album, the record, but that, like the Australian cover, that's a very thin cover, and it's always got the ring wear, and I just won't buy it with that ring wear.
I've got one, but it's not perfect. It's decent. You know, I could probably.
I want to see a solid. I've seen Solid Purple on that cover.
I mean, a lot of collectors don't want to claim the name collectors. Do you consider yourself a collector?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Well, you can't deny it.
No, but I'm a music lover too. This is my life. It's in my blood. It's been in my blood. My history of life is through music. If someone says, well, what was that doing? Weren't we doing that? Remember that in like 90s? It's like, no. Because the B-52s have just come out. So it's going to be, we were listening to that. So, or the cars, when we, 78. So it's not it's before that. So, yeah. So my whole history, oh my goodness. A couple of times a year, and these people aren't like you and I. I'll put the big turntables out, the DJ turntables, and blast music and tell everybody all in advance, name a couple of tunes, and everybody's just dancing out there and out on the street, have big parties, and people from out, and blast the music on the two big JBLs, the sound goes for bloody, they go nuts, and they appreciate. And I've even played my Dark Side of the Moon UK Blue. Parker's turned up and go, Ian, you got to be joking, what's that doing? It's like, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Nobody else understands it. I paid $1,700. I want to hear it through the system and listen to it. You know.
Yeah.
And nobody else really. I don't know. Somebody else says, Ian, is that one of your collectible ones? Yeah. What's that worth? Like $100, $200? I went,
something like that.
yeah, not quite.
Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, we actually sat down and recorded a whole hour-long podcast. You can go over to my podcast. It's called Vinyl Biography. You can search it on all podcast platforms, and the links to Apple Music, Spotify, and the web browser is in the description of this video. So if you'd like to listen to our full conversation where we talk a lot more about Elvis and stuff like that, different collectible records and collecting habits, check out the podcast. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, leave me a comment. That all helps these videos get some traction so I can keep doing them. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.